So how do you want me to introduce you? I'm speaking today with Kiki Keirby.
Life coach,
Yeah.
but with a background in recruitment, HR and consultancy. So for me it would go back to the very beginning of when you're actually identifying what's involved, what are you actually recruiting for, so what skill set are you recruiting for. So you've worked out what that skill set is, and then you've worked out the different competencies, and then it's putting together questions, open-ended questions, so how's, what's, when's, when have you, as an example, when have you had to use that organisational skills, how have you had to organise yourself. So you're looking for the candidate to really demonstrate when they've had to use that particular competency.
So I guess before you've done this interview, presumably there's a step before that in terms of defining those competencies.
That's correct.
So how does that work? How, have you done that? Is that a process that you've done before then? You've done for jobs that you've interviewed for?
Yes, absolutely. So again, at the very start of that recruitment strategy meeting of when you're identifying what person you need to recruit, is you're sitting down and you're starting to list out what those competencies are, and then through those competencies you will also demonstrate what behaviours are needed for that particular person, and then also what qualities are needed from that particular person. So there's several steps involved in that process.
So an interview process, is that quite a sort of is that a very similar process for each candidate then? Are you asking the same questions for each candidate?
So it is a standard process, yes, but it might be that the way you ask some of those competency questions will be asked in a different way, but you're still getting the same information out of that individual person, because each person's unique, their backgrounds will be unique, the industries they've worked in is unique, so you will still be asking open-ended questions, but it might be worded or communicated in a different way. Each role is slightly different, isn't it, around the idea of when they set out, this is what I'm looking for, and then you start interviewing, you then start identifying perhaps different competencies that maybe you hadn't necessarily thought of. So it's never as straightforward as you think.